Are you currently on the search for an office chair that's under $300? Then this video might be the video for you. Today we take a closer look at the Flexispot Soutein, which is currently priced at $299.99. Hey guys, it's Ryan with BTOD.com, BTOD TV, coming at you with another Is It Worth It video. This time it's going to be on the Flexispot Soutein. Now this is going to be a chair that's priced under $300. We don't have a ton of reviews at this price range, but we're trying to provide a little bit more in this area for those of you that are on a little bit tighter budget. Now I do want to disclose to you that this chair was sent to us for free by Flexispot. This is one of the very few chairs that we've reviewed that we actually didn't pay for. It was given to us, but I'm going to be very honest with my review here and give you some honest opinions on what I like about the chair, what I dislike about the chair, and then just kind of summarize it at the end and let you know my feelings on whether or not it is worth the current price of $299.99 on Flexispot.com. So let's get into it. The first thing that we're going to look at that I do like on the chair is going to be the return policy that Flexispot offers. They do offer a true 30-day risk-free trial. If you do not like the chair, just put it back in the original packaging. Flexispot will pay to have it picked up, return shipped, and they'll give you a full refund. So you truly are getting 30 days to try it without any financial commitment, which is a very nice proposition for a chair at this price point. The next things that I like about this chair are just gonna be the adjustability package that you get, especially for a chair under $300. You're gonna get seat height, seat depth, four-way adjustable arms, lumbar height adjustment, tension control, and multiple locking positions. So quite a few adjustments to kind of fine-tune the chair to the way that you like it, which is not something that we always see on a chair at this price point. So now I'm just going to touch on the things that I dislike about the chair. The first one being the warranty that Flexispot gives you. They're only going to give you a 1-year warranty on the Soutein, which is pretty lackluster coverage, even when compared to other chairs in this price range. A lot of chairs in this price range will have at least a 2-year warranty, and a lot of times we see warranties as long as 5 years, limited lifetime warranty at this price range. So kind of disappointing to see that this chair only has a 1-year warranty because you're not getting a ton of guaranteed use out of the chair. The next thing that I'm not a huge fan of on the Soutein is just going to be the overall build quality. Now, we can't expect a chair that's priced at around $300 to have a bunch of high-end components, or it would cost more, but you do need to know that this is a chair composed mainly of lower-end components. So we see this in things like the tension control. You're only going to get a few options, not a knob that's going to give you infinite control, and I didn't notice a ton of change between the options that you're given. Another example of cutting corners would just be the fabric and the mesh quality. Not very high end. We're seeing some fraying on both of them already, and we've had this chair for a very limited amount of time. Another example would just be the cylinder. It is a good quality cylinder from Samhangsa, rated at class 4, but it's only 3 inches of travel compared to a standard 5 inches of travel, so a little bit of corner cutting there. And then just the overall feel of the chair, it's not gonna feel quite as solid as a mid-market or a high-end chair. So just overall, the quality is lower, but that's why the price is lower, so that's to be expected. The next thing that I do not like about the Soutein is that this chair is not going to work for tall people, and truthfully, it's not going to work for mid-sized people, if I'm going to be honest. I'll sit down on the chair and just show you. Right now the chair, I believe, it's at as high as it goes, and you can see that this is where I would comfortably use the chair. At my desk setup, I do use a footrest, so I would prefer that this chair be actually an inch or two taller for me. But I'm 5'9", and so anyone taller than me is not going to be sitting in an ergonomic position because you're simply too tall for the chair. And so you're really excluding a huge portion of the population. Anyone that is 5'10" or over is going to need to look for a different chair because you're simply not going to fit in this because the seat height is not tall enough. Now, I have seen Flexispot responding to some comments that they are changing the cylinder height on this chair to accommodate a larger range of people. Our chair, unfortunately, still has the original cylinder, and I'm not sure when that change is being made. So if you are a fan of this chair, but you can't use it because you're over 5'10", I would suggest reaching out to Flexispot and seeing when they plan on making that change, because I have seen them mention it, I just don't know when it's gonna happen. The next thing that I did not like when I was testing the Soutein is the arms because of the way that they are positioned. Now the arm caps themselves are decently comfortable. They have some softness to them. They're a little bit more slippery than I would prefer, but they're definitely better than a lot of arms that I've tested. They do have 4-way adjustment. The range is a bit more limited, but the one thing that I did not like about the chair, you can see that there's quite a gap from the backrest to the armrest. And you can't push it any further back even though it has depth adjustment. And so even in the furthest back position, when you put your arms down, your elbow does not hit. You can see that when I put my arms down, it actually goes up further than my hand. So my hand doesn't have any freedom here, and I can't push it back any further. So I have to either scooch my arms up forward, which is not how I want them in order to be able to use a keyboard, or I have to keep them in the position that's comfortable, but then I'm kind of blocked by this armrest here, and there's really no way to fix it. If you recline, the gap gets bigger. I'll try to show you here. When I recline, the gap gets only bigger. So there's really no way to limit this. And this was one of the biggest reasons why I had a difficulty being comfortable while using my mouse. And so that's not something that I've come across with too many chairs, but it's definitely something that I feel Flexispot missed the mark on. And the final thing that I do not like about the Soutein is going to be the backrest design. And in my opinion, the backrest on the Soutein is probably going to be the #1 reason why most people are uncomfortable in this chair. Now, when we just look at the overall design, the mesh quality is not going to be what a lot of other chairs have, so you're not going to have that soft, elastic feeling where you feel like you're sinking into the back. And then the frame itself is not flexible. It's not going to move with you when you move, and anytime that you try to stretch or move, there's a good chance that you can feel that frame, which is uncomfortable. But for me, and a lot of other people in the office, the biggest deal breaker with this chair is going to be the lumbar design. And you can see from the front that it's pretty protruded out. When I turn it to the side, you can really see how far it sticks out. Even more so than really pronounced chairs like the Ergo Human or X chair. And I found this design to be very uncomfortable for a few reasons. One, you can't use the top of the backrest very effectively. If I want to get my shoulders to engage the backrest, I have to arch my back to get past the lumbar because it pushes me so far forward. So I have to arch my back, and then you can see that my shoulders will touch, but I'm in this position. It feels very awkward. It feels like I'm being pushed way too far forward back here, and it feels like I'm forcing myself to touch the back. So the most comfortable way to use this chair that I found was to just use it sitting upright like I would my Leap chair or my CXO, except for the backrest just doesn't touch my back. So I'm not getting really any back support except for right here. So overall, a pretty uncomfortable design. And one other thing that I noticed with this is Flexispot advertises their lumbar support as having a 3-way design. I can't figure out what the other 2 directions are because it has height adjustment, but there is no other adjustment. So I don't know if they're saying 1-way, 2-way, and then maybe it goes in when you sit down, that's the 3rd way. I'm really not sure what the 3-way adjustment are. Slightly disingenuous marketing, in my opinion. But another thing to touch on with the lumbar is this function doesn't even work. So if you put it up to the highest point and then sit down, it just goes all the way back to the lowest point. No matter how you use the chair, it's always going to go back down. As soon as you make contact with it, it moves. And this happened with all of the people in our office that tested the chair. So if you need the lumbar support to be a little bit higher, tough luck, because it's not going to stay there. So overall, this is definitely going to be my biggest complaint with the Soutein, is just going to be the backrest design being very uncomfortable. All right, I've gone over the things that I like about the Soutein, covered some things that I don't like about the Soutein. Now I'm just going to give you my opinion on whether or not I think this chair is worth $299.99. And truth be told, I don't think it's worth that price. And this is mainly due to the comfort of the chair, the build quality, and the warranty that you're getting. So when we look at this chair on a per year cost, because of it only having a 1-year warranty, the per year cost on this chair is the full price of the chair, $299.99, which is going to be one of the highest per year costs on any chair that I've ever reviewed. And this is coming from a chair that is probably the most uncomfortable chair that I've sat in and used. So from a pure comfort and build quality standpoint, it's very low end. From a value standpoint per year, it's very expensive. So this is probably one chair that I would say has the least amount of value out of all of the chairs that I've reviewed. So at the end of the day, no, I do not think that the Soutein is worth $299.99. And that's going to wrap up our video on the Flexispot Soutein. If you'd like more videos on chairs in this price range, make sure to reach out to us and let us know. If you've got any more questions on the Soutein, make sure to leave a comment and we'll get that answered for you. Please hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe if you're liking these Worth It videos. We've got a bunch more on the deck. Thanks a lot for watching.